The time, the time is 11 o'clock on this late Friday night, November 23rd, 2018. It is time now for the third channel. 11 o'clock news on this late Friday night, November 23rd, 2018. Good evening, everybody. I'm Peter J. Wiggins. It is 11 o'clock, and we have a temperature of 29 degrees in Norton, Massachusetts. Top stories on the Peter channel. $11 news is 12 scary takeaways from the climate report that Trump administration dropped back Friday as climate change will shrink U.S. economy and kill thousands. Government report warns. Tech show close between Chris Watts and his wife before he killed her in Colorado. Trump asks Supreme Court to fast track ruling on transgender military ban. Hillary Clinton last. Fox News as fully owned subsidiary of Trump administration. Store one owner in Taunton sees bright future in delivery service. Wall Street Journal Trump expresses displeasure and mentioned Quincy working on plea agreement with special counsel. New York State's lawsuit against Trump Foundation can proceed. Judge rules. Bus overturns Carrier University in Washington marching band. Brexit. Will Spain's Gibraltar concerns crash on the route? Crime menaces migrants on Mexico border as seawater declares crisis. Activists who use human to highlight war is gunned down in Syria. Inside North Korea hidden aid package belly. Kim Jong-un's promise to feed his nation's children. Black Friday online retail makes inroads, but shoppers still pack the malls in the Attleboro area and around the region and around the state of Massachusetts, around the country. In Orr's huge drop, all signs say made in the USA. Amazon workers strike in Germany, Spain on Black Friday. China approves $30 billion United technology deal. Now, watch the ripple effects. A former comfort woman who is battling cancer is donated more than $26,000 of North Korea's bunch of schools in Japan. Trump administration calls for a Supreme Court review of transgender ban. Gunfire, at least 4 injured in Mexico City tourist neighborhood. U.S. Department of chairs IAEA's North Korea nuclear concerns. North Korea may be running low on structural steel for construction. Random voters overwhelming favor of new downtown zoning. Mansfield police say there have been a series of thefts of laptops and other electronics from businesses in the Cabot Industrial Park. Mansfield, one person was injured early Friday morning when their car stopped a utility pole and half. The accident was reported just before 6:30 a.m. in the section of Maple Street and Kelly Lane. A town ambulance took the male driver to Good Samaritan Medical Center, Brooklyn, with non-life-threatening injuries, the fire department said. Mansfield Electric Light responded to the repair of the pole. North Attleboro, home on Spruce Street was damaged by a fire late Friday night and late Friday afternoon displaced a family for at least a night. The fire was reported as a chimney fire about 4 p.m. at an older two-story home on 16 Spruce Street. In fact, the firefighters found that a pellet stove that set at the exterior and interior of the home on fire kept the match barrier said. It was a quick knockdown. Barrier said that the blaze was reported under control by about 4:30 p.m. The biggest problem was overall the chimney and location of the fire. Plainfield firefighters helped at the scene, and Attleboro and Cumberland Fire Department discovered at the station. Taunton McCaffrey has only enjoyed swimming with the fishes while his case has nothing to do with the mops and disposing of mobsters. The Taunton police officer recently came back. As state legalized recreational marijuana state stores take root in Massachusetts with sales pouring in Albany and Lancaster and Northampton, what's holding up similar shops from doing business in Brockton? Quincy celebrates Christmas with New Hancock Adams comment. NASA's InSight Mars lens set for historic touchdown in the red planet. Scientists have a new plan to fight global warming, dimming the sun. Discovery 200-million-year-old huge mammal throws evolution understanding the question. ISS footage of Soyuz rocket launches puts Hollywood directors to shame. New Alzheimer's vaccine could reduce dementia cases by half. 12 confirmed cases of adenovirus in Camden County. Students fear dorm mold that led to freshman's adenovirus death. In Boston, Massachusetts, at 21 Adams Street, BX 1895. Company had a quick knockdown of a basement fire at a 3-story multi-family dwelling, chicken extension at 2 hours ago in Boston, Massachusetts, 277 Center Street, BX 2411. Companies had a quick knockdown and fire for a number of projects, high-rise building. Companies chicken extensions. Either chill news time. 11:06 on this late Friday night. Time now for a sport support. The Boston Celtics, after a 3-game losing streak, outscored the Atlanta Hawks 45-23 first quarter for 149-6 win over the Atlanta Hawks, while the Boston Bruins eke out win over the Pittsburgh Penguins 2-1 in overtime at the Garden. Phil Mickelson defeats Tiger Woods in the match, and Kansas City Chiefs have a historical offense on managing a big play. Peter Chill news time is 11:06 on this late Friday night. Time now for a Peter Chill traffic and transit check. Baby! Let's study off at the MBT with shuttle bus will place red line service between Alewife and Harbor on weekends from November 10th to December 2nd to do truck work. Commuter rail. And the ferries, they are all looking good. Okay, look at the divers and byways in New England. It's looking good in eastern Massachusetts, Rhode Island, except 95 on the northbound side. Little sign on Work Stretch, Connecticut, it's looking good. 91 northbound side, Little sign on Mass in Springfield, and Interstate 8789 southbound side, Little sign U.S. Canadian border, and Ottawa 15 both ends, and Maine 95 is southbound side, Little sign Augusta, Maine. Peter Chill news time is 11:07 on this late Friday night. It is time now for a weather report, and today it turned out to be a decent day in the weather department. It turned to be a little bit chilly for Black Friday shopping, but it was a manageable day in the weather department with temperatures in the 30s and manageable sun and good temperatures for Black Friday shopping. Okay, look at that temperature right now in Norton. It's 29 degrees with a humidity of 56%, 2.15 degrees, and barometer 3.34 inches. Okay, look at that 11 o'clock reports. 20 in Boston, 25 in Beverly, 27 in Beverly, 25 in Bedford, 27 in Lawrence, 25 in Fitchburg, 22 in Worcester, 28 in Norwood, 24 in Blue Hills, 26 in Top, 27 in New Bedford, 25 in Plymouth, 28 in Marshfield, 28 in Falmouth, 25 in Chatham, 21 in Hyde, 31 in Provincetown, 32 in Martha's 33 in Nantucket, 25 in Providence and Smithfield, 33 out in Wesley, 30 in Newport, 20 in New London, 30 in Bridgeport, 32 in New York City, 21 in Denver, 27 in Middletown, 27 in Hartford, 25 in Woodlocks, 23 in Springfield, 24 out in Westfield, 17 out in Orange, 25 in Fitchburg, 22 in Worcester, 20 in Pittsfield, 21 in North Adams, 20 in Albany, New York, 17 in Keene, Hampshire, 21 in Jaffna, Hampshire, 19 in Nashville, Hampshire, 24 in Manchester and Portsmouth, Hampshire, 18 in Concord, Hampshire, 19 in Lakeland, Hampshire, 23 in Portland, Maine. Okay, let's take a look at the surface map around the country. Station front stretching the line from southwestern Alberta down from northern Montana, cold front from Montana all the way down in the Dakotas, then up in western Ontario. And a cold front from northern California merged with a low pressure in southern Oregon, and a warm front from eastern Oregon down to Utah, and a front of stretching from the southern Oregon to Washington coast and the southwest portion of British Columbia, and a front with a low pressure in east Colorado with Mexico with a low pressure right at New Mexico, and front southwest of the Baja California, Mexico. Number from a line from Minnesota all the way out to Texas with a low pressure off the Texas Gulf Coast with a warm front off the Texas Louisiana Gulf Coast and a low pressure in the western portions of Iowa. Station front from the Georgia Carolina coast and a station front off Florida and station front down by the Bahamas. With a high pressure ridge around the United States. 43 degrees in Detroit and in Kansas City, 40 in Minneapolis, 45 in Chicago, 34 in Pittsburgh, Washington, D.C., 45 in Chicago, 40 in Atlanta, 73 in Miami, 67 in Brownsville, Texas, 58, and Dallas, Texas, 44, Des Moines, Nebraska, 45, and Albuquerque, Mexico, Salt Lake City, Utah, 38, Denver, 62, and Phoenix, 65, and Los Angeles, 61, and San Francisco, 54, and Las Vegas, 27, Great Falls, Montana, 46, out in Seattle, Washington. All right. Let's take a look at the radar satellite loop around the country, and it shows clouds covering much of the eastern portion of the country, stretching as far north as Ontario and Quebec, and stretching as far south as with some rain showers in western Florida Panhandle, and another batch of rain showers line from northeastern Florida, stretching up to Georgia and the Carolinas, and a lot of rain showers stretching line from Louisiana to Mississippi and western Carolinas, and stretching all the way up to the Great West, some rain and snow down to the western Ontario, and some snow in Colorado and northern Utah, and up to rain, sleet, and snow in Idaho down to northern portions of Utah, and snow in some of the western portions of Wyoming, and snow in the western portion of North Dakota, northeastern portions of Montana, and the southern portions of Saskatchewan, Alberta, and rain showers in northern California, rain, sleet, and snow in western Oregon, up to the western portion of Washington State, and rain, sleet, and snow around southeastern portion of Oregon. Okay. Looking at the forecast discussion. High pressure centered along the coast with a move out show tonight. Dry and much milder weather should be prevailed most of the day Saturday. Low pressure will bring a soaking rainfall to the region Saturday night. Perhaps liquid to Sunday morning. The next low pressure system quickly fall will probably bring another soaking rain sometime Monday and Tuesday morning, but there'll be a low risk where bits of snow at the night across the interior. Chilly weather expected Wednesday and Thursday, but not nearly as cold as we experienced the last couple of days. That's going to be your typical November, December day after we get through the rain of Monday. As two soaking rain events are likely in the early next week. The first looks to occur Saturday night, perhaps linger to Sunday morning, followed by another sometime Monday and Tuesday morning. To give the river levels that are rather very high, the potential exists for some minor river and stream flood in the early next week. Okay, let's take a look at our forecast. And it goes like this. For tonight, most of the coast come out 20 degrees. Light southwest wind. For Saturday, Punta come out 46 degrees. Calm wind. Becoming southwest wind 5 miles an hour for Saturday night. Chance of showers between 8 p.m. and 11 p.m. Then right after 11 p.m. Punch mug after midnight. Low end 39 degrees. Calm wind becoming east 5 to 7 miles an hour after midnight. Just mentioned 1% new percent treated half 3/4 inch possible for Sunday. Rain mean before 8 a.m. and patch mug for 1 p.m. High near 48 degrees. Dropping about 3 to 7 miles an hour. Just mentioned is 8% new percent treated 1/4 inch possible Sunday night. Chance of rain may after 3 a.m. Patch mug otherwise most of the but 37 degrees and level wind. Just mentioned 30%. Monday rain patch mug high near 47 degrees. Just mentioned is 8%. Monday night, rain like a million before 11 p.m. Patch mug after 9 p.m. Otherwise, most of the 36 degrees. Just mentioned 70%. For Tuesday, parts of the 43 by 28 degrees. For Wednesday, most of the cusp of 39 by 28 degrees. Thursday, most of the cusp of 41 by 28 degrees. And for Friday, that's about 41 degrees. Right now, nothing it is Peter's weather phrase of the day. 50-50 weekend. Nice on Saturday, rainy on Sunday. And that is going to be it for the Peter channel. 11 o'clock news on this late Friday, November 23rd, 2018. Appears to be a good night with a good positive to the Nausea. Tomorrow morning in the morning report. I hope you all have a good night.